Hi everyone. Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2020. I've been wanting to do this video for a really long time. I don't know if I'll make another video like this, but I'm just going to try it out. This is my first time, so forgive me. I'll have to work out the kinks. A lot of people have been asking me, hey, when are you going to do a video, because you have a lot of knowledge, you have a lot of strong opinions. And although I have my own personal beliefs, religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs, personal beliefs, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to do a lot of what ifs in this video, because once I make a statement, anybody can take that and just do with it what they may. So I'm just going to mention some things that I believe, obviously from the Bible, and obviously there's going to be haters, there's going to be people who disapprove of what I say, there's going to be people who think I'm a lunatic, I'm crazy, I'm fanatical, and everybody's entitled to their opinions. I always say opinions are like buttholes, everybody has one. But anyways, getting that out of the way, I appreciate people's comments, feedback, but if somebody's going to be nasty, if you're going to be leaving nasty comments and being rude, I'll just block you and delete you. Not a big deal. I don't even read the comments. As soon as I see something negative, I just delete. So here's my thing. There's a lot to cover. I'm going to try to keep it within 10 minutes or so. And this coronavirus is something that people have been talking about for so long. And you know what? A lot of people believe that this is a weapon. A lot of people believe that this thing was made, intentionally created to harm others. Now, whether the United States had anything to do with it, whether it's Russia, whether it's North Korea, China, we don't know. All I know is that the government allows the news media to put out stories that they approve of. The government controls the news media, the movies, television, clothing, music, so many things you don't even realize. But then again, the ones who control the government are the pharmaceutical companies, religions, things like that. And people in general don't like to know the truth. People hate it, especially like when there's a roach in your house and there's a roach running around at night and you turn on the lights, the roach runs. They don't like the light. They don't like the truth. I'm not calling people roaches. I'm just saying that people don't like it. When you shed a little light on something that's false, people don't like it, especially if it's going to cost them money. If I was to say right here in my very hand, I have the cure for cancer. Right here, I guarantee you 100% that this little thing that I have in my hand, this antidote, will cure cancer. What do you think would happen to me? They would probably try to kill me. The pharmaceutical companies, the government, they throw me in jail, lock me away, throw away the key. It would cripple the system. Billions and billions of dollars would be lost and thousands of jobs. So they don't want to find a cure. When I see all these things, today is Cancer Month, today is this, I think it's all a sham. That's just what I think. That's just what I think. Another thing is that a lot of people are saying, well, why do we have to stay home during this quarantine? I personally believe that it is a test for martial law. And sometimes people have wondered, why are the governments allowing all these weapons to be to be used to hurt kids and school shootings and all these different things? I won't say anything, but I'll just say, what if the government has something to do with it? What if? I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying they are. What if the government has something to do with all these shootings that you see? It doesn't matter if somebody has a record or not. You can have somebody who's totally clean, never had an arrest, never had a warrant, never had a speeding ticket, a clean person, clean as a whistle, they go out there and they shoot somebody. I don't know. That just seems kind of fishy. The guy in Las Vegas, the Caucasian man who shot a bunch of people, didn't have a record as far as I know. Very clean. Purchased the arms legally. It's not a matter of, does somebody have a record? Is somebody a felon? It's people are crazy. When people get fed up, they do crazy things. I'm not saying it's right, but that's what happens. Other people think that maybe the Illuminati has something to do with it. Maybe the Freemasons. There's people who are controlling and allowing things to happen in the government. A lot of people feel, well, they hate the president right now. A lot of people do. And a lot of people think he's doing a good job. I have my own personal opinions. In Spanish, there's a saying, calladito te ves más bonito. I am extremely opinionated. I wear my feelings on my sleeve, but sometimes it's best to not say things. Sometimes it's best just to keep things to yourself. But that's why I'm going to say these what ifs. I feel What if our food is being poisoned? What if our water is being poisoned by the government? What if the pharmaceutical company already has a cure for coronavirus and they're keeping it quiet? The president said that he would not wear a mask. Why is that? Does he have the cure already? What if Bill Gates or whoever creates this drug, this antidote, this vaccine, whatever you want to call it, says, hey, we got it here. Everybody has to take this. It's mandatory to take this shot. You have to take it. Otherwise, we're not going to renew your license. Otherwise, you're not going to get any benefits. Otherwise, you're not going to whatever. I feel that if that's the case, that could probably kill billions of people. And there's something called population control. I do believe there's something going on. There's so many cities underneath the city. Did you know that? LA has underground cities for the military. Washington, Virginia. There are tunnels from the White House going all the way to Virginia, Pennsylvania, and different parts of the country. There are so many things that are happening in life right now. That if people knew what was going on behind closed doors, what your government is doing behind closed doors, it would be like anarchy. People would be going crazy. It's nuts. What if all these shootings are predetermined to get people to give up their weapons, their arms, all these things? So when they pass martial law, when they say stay home, people have no way of defending themselves. I don't know. I do believe that the pharmaceutical companies are, how do I call this? They are the biggest crooks on the planet. There are some things that can help people, but overall, like I said, if somebody had the cure to cancer, they will not allow it. I think it's illegal to cure cancer or to treat cancer in this country, aside from chemotherapy and radiation. I wonder why. Well, I truly believe that the governments, they sell your Social Security, they sell you as livestock to Wall Street. You're just a number. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to have kids. I don't want my child becoming a property of the United States government or any government. There's something happening right now with religion. In Russia, religions are being banned in different countries. And there's going to come a time, according to the Bible, in 1 Thessalonians 5:3, I wrote it down here, where the governments attack religion. The governments destroy religion because religion, I love God, I believe in God, but religion itself is filled with so much bloodshed. Almost every single war that's ever started since day one, since the first superpower, which is Egypt, has all been religious. There's been about seven world powers that have dominated over people, God's people. Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, Rome, Britain, the UN. And in the Bible, governments are depicted as beasts, wild beasts. Well, in the book of Revelation, it mentions that the wild beast is going to attack and destroy the harlot. The harlots consider the world empire a false religion in the Bible because they have killed so many people, and the things that people learn in church, they're lies. They are absolute lies. Colored eggs, rabbits, and Jesus have absolutely nothing to do in common. Nothing. Jesus was not born on December 25th, yet the churches go out there and tell people he was born on December 25th. We can go on and on. There was a church, I believe, in Mexico or Argentina. I don't remember what country it was. But one of these churches was destroyed. And when they were looking through the church to see what happened, they found a bunch of baby coffins in the church. So apparently the priests were having sex with the nuns and the nuns were having abortions. They were putting these babies in little tiny coffins. Oh dear, that's crazy. Anyways, the purpose of this video is not to attack anybody, but just to say what if. What if they're lying to us? What if? I personally have strong spiritual faith. I do not support the government. I pay my taxes. I pay my dues. I do, what you're supposed to. Pay Caesar seems to Caesar, but God seems to God. But I do believe there's a time coming very soon called the Great Tribulation. And if you look at Matthew, the book of Matthew chapter 24, verse 1 through 3, Jesus talks about earthquakes, pestilences, pandemics, all these different things that are happening around the world. And even though people are dying, it's a sign of relief because it shows that Jesus is coming to finally vindicate God's name. So hopefully that time will be here soon. I don't know if I'll do another video like this. I just wanted to share some things, share some thoughts. And hopefully that God has mercy on us who are willing to serve Him and do what's right. The most important thing that God requires of people is loyalty. You have to be loyal. That's one thing. I mean, sometimes we don't always understand why God allows suffering, why God allows things, why. The people of Israel, when they were leaving Egypt, they had no idea. They were stuck in the Red Sea, and God parted the Red Sea for them. People don't understand. You have to place your trust in God. You have to be grateful. You have to show gratitude. Most people, including myself, we're always looking at what we don't have, but we never see what we do have. Personally, myself, I'm not rich, but I'm rich in so many different ways. I have my own place. I have a paid-off car. I'm buying my mother a car. I'm healthy. I have no sicknesses. I've never had the flu in my life. I have a strong immune system. I'm very blessed as a person. Granted, I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. And I've said a lot of things that I do regret. And the thing about myself is when I make a mistake, I'm willing to acknowledge it, admit it, apologize, make it right, and move on. A lot of people, including people in power, are very arrogant. They're racist. They're dictators. And they're never wrong. It's my way or the highway, and they like to attack other people, but then when somebody tries to shed a little light on them like the roach, like the little cockroach in the dark at night, they hate it, they become combative. Nobody wants to be told that they're wrong. I've been told that I'm wrong. I have to enjoy a nice slice of humble pie once in a while. I wrote down some scriptures here that I like people to read if you're interested, if you have a Bible. First of all, look at Matthew chapter 24, verse 3 through 44. It mentions all these things that are happening, earthquakes, pestilences, pandemics, everything. It's all there. Also, read 1 Thessalonians 5:3. It talks about peace and security. It mentions in Daniel 2:44 what Jesus Christ is going to do to the governments of our time, the eighth and final king. Also look at Matthew chapter 4, verse 1 through 11. It talks about Jesus when he was being tempted by Satan. And Satan offered him three things, right? And one of them was the kingdoms of the world. He said, if you fall down and do an act of worship to me, I will give you all these kingdoms. Now, if all these governments and kingdoms didn't belong to the devil, how could he offer them to Jesus? How could it be a temptation? Something to think about. You can also read Revelation chapter 20, verse 1 through 3. It talks about the dragon. Revelation chapter 18, verse 2, the fall of Babylon. Revelation 16:16, Armageddon. Revelation 17:17, God put it in their hearts. Yeah, there's some scary times coming our way, but they're exciting times. There's nothing that can happen to you, even if we lose the ones we love, even if our own lives are lost. There's nothing that can happen to us that can ever remove us from God's love. People need to understand that. Oh, they're afraid of losing their jobs. They're afraid of losing their kids. They're afraid of losing their lives. God can restore all that to you, just like he did Job. Job is a man in the Bible. Oh, dear. I don't think any man has ever suffered more than Job, aside from Christ. And God restored everything. God gave him so many blessings. And just imagine Moses and Solomon. God told them, ask something of me. Ask anything of me, and I will give it to you. No, that was Solomon. And Solomon asked for wisdom. Moses asked to see God's face, which it's impossible for anybody to see God's face. It's like looking at the sun. You can't. God is too powerful. I also want to mention that during 9/11, people knew, the government knew that they were going to attack the World Trade Center. They knew that they were going to attack Pearl Harbor. There's a lot of things they know. There's a lot of things they don't tell people. Like I said, they control the news media. They control what we hear. Literally from the day we're born, we're being brainwashed with constant information going in and out, in and out, in and out. It actually sounds really good right now, in and out. A double-double. No, I got to stop. I'm doing good. I'm actually becoming a vegetarian or vegan, or I'm trying. I come from a Mexican family, so believe me, you can't be vegan in a Mexican family. Poof. Yeah, but anyways, thanks everybody for listening, and I appreciate your time. And like I said, this is not meant to offend anybody. It's just simply meant to say what if. And I know what I believe. My loyalty is to God. I pledge allegiance to no flag. I'm not disrespecting anybody who's died or anybody who's fighting for my freedoms. I acknowledge that. But God is allowing these things to happen for a reason. He's allowing man 6,000 plus years to try out different governments, experiment with different governments to see, can man truly bring about true peace and security? And there's going to come a time where it's going to look like, yes, the government's finally achieved peace, world peace, peace and security. But then the Bible says in Revelation, sudden destruction is to be instantly upon them. We don't know what that means. The most important thing to do is to be faithful to God, to pray with sincerity. And if there's things about ourselves that are unsavory, then it's time to make a change. And what I enjoy, well, I don't want to say enjoy because people are dying. What I do like about the quarantine is that life has slowed down a lot. Life, the freeways are empty. I mean, aside from the crazy drivers going over 100, but life has really slowed down, and I like it. I'm not looking at my phone all the time, trying to see if I have a next job offer. Life is slowed down, and I do like it, and I think it's time for people to heal, people to know the truth, and for people to know that there's a God out there who loves them, and His name is Jehovah.